Hi everybody, this is Sue again. It's still May 30th, 2022. It is still Memorial Day in America, and it's about 2 hours later than the um, video I made earlier this morning. Actually, no, it's about 3 hours later. Anyway, I now have everything cut out. I don't even know how big this is. I didn't even think to measure it. I just kind of 15 by 15. Okay, so this pillow before I sew it is 15 by 15. After I sew it, it will be much smaller. So I'm going to put you down so that you can see what's going on. At least I think I'm going to do that. Let's see. I think I need to turn this around. I think that's what I need to do. Maybe not. Yeah, I think so. Alright, let me see if I can get this situated so you can see that, I hope. Let's move that out of the way. Alright. Now, I can't believe it's so dark in here. It's early in the morning. I've got lights all over on. I've got all my overhead lights on my fan, on my ceiling fan. This light right here, let's see if I can adjust it. Anyway, I've got
What is it, the very bottom that's all rotted down?
Yeah. Which is okay, it lets it drain good.
if you hear people talking, it's my neighbors.
Yeah.
So, not much I can do about them. They're just neighbors. I don't know what they're talking about. I don't really care. But if you hear people talking, that's who it is. Anyway, I'm taking the pins out. I've already cut everything out. It's just a square, 15 by 15 square. And this is the fabric that I chose. Of course, this fuzzy blanket is fuzzy, has fuzzies everywhere. It's just, can't get rid of them. The more I cut it, the more fuzzies fly everywhere. But anyway, as you can see, I decided on hearts. So, what I'm going to do, and I've got two of them here because I'm going to make two pillows actually. So, I'll fold this one up. And I'm going to take this
Oh, I get the color.
and yeah, just want to make sure I had that on the right side. Fuzzy, fuzzy, fuzzy. All right. Now, I found, working with this stuff, it's stretchy, it's slippery, it's pretty when you're getting done with it, but it's a nightmare to work with. So, what I've been doing, because it's so difficult. Sorry, I got some of that stuff in my eyes. Okay, I'm going to create the hole where I'm going to turn that. Now see, I always put, oh here, let's do this. I always put 2 clips together like that. That indicates this is where I begin, this is where I end. This stays open so I can stuff the pillow. Now, because this is so slippery and it is stretchy, so I can kind of pull it out here to match. I've been putting these clips like every ½ inch or so, because it just, the first pillow I made, I really fought with this stuff. It was just everywhere, and then after that I decided I've got to have more clips. I've either got to sit here and I've got to baste this together, and I just don't do hand sewing anymore. My hands are just not as nimble as they, I'm 73 years old, my hands just aren't as nimble as they used to be. And I find maybe I should move that over a little bit. It looks like it's kind of off. So let's just kind of readjust here. Okay. And another thing that I've noticed is this sews easier if I put it on a zigzag. Just an ordinary zigzag stitch. Let's see. These need to be right together, like that. Open, close it. Or whatever. Excuse me. So we'll clip this all the way around and put these close together to keep it from slipping and sliding all over the place. Some of them laying out here, I just will use those. You know, my neighbors over there, I don't know them. I've never met them. And I have absolutely no desire to go over there and say hello. I got things, I got my life, they got theirs. They've never come over here to say hello to me. I've never gone over there to say hello to them. That's just the way life is. Okay, so now, as you can see, I've got this clipped together, and I'm ready to start sewing. Now, one of the things that I figured out after making several of these is you want to stitch down here inside and then start stitching here, and don't take these clips off until you get past it. and sew over here, and don't take that clip off until you've sewn past it, because this stuff is so slippery that it just slips away, and it's difficult to get it back, and I found myself taking everything out. So I'm going to set this on zigzag. I'm going to put that on stitch length of 3, zigzag width of 7, which I guess is kind of a basting stitch, but it's okay for this. So, and so as you can see, maybe you can't. Let me move you over here a little bit. I have the presser foot right here set right beside these 2 clips, and I'm not going to take those clips off until I've gone past them, because it just that will just slip down, and then I'm going to have to take it out and start all over. So I'm going to put you over here. I hope that you can see. I have this set on just a regular zigzag, nothing fancy, just a zigzag. And so start out, back stitch, go past this. Now I can take these 2 off, and we'll go around this. I'm sorry it's so dark. I can't figure out why it's so dark. There's plenty of light. What's wrong with my foot pedal here? Okay, turn the corner, keep the needle down, raise the presser foot up, turn the work, take that off, make sure that's straight, lower the presser foot, and continue sewing on the way around. And I've seen some people doing a tutorial on YouTube, and they don't know to leave the needle down when they turn a corner. Always leave your needle down when you turn a corner. And it's much easier if you leave the needle down. What's wrong with my foot pedal this morning? This is slipped here. It's always a good idea to stop and check, make sure everything's going okay, so you can see what it looks like on the back. And so these, I enjoy making these. They're quick, they're easy, and they're pretty when they're done. Okay, let's do this. Now, one thing I noticed yesterday on a video that I was watching, this lady was, I don't know what she was making, I don't remember, but she was holding her fabric back here. You don't have to do that. That machine is going to pull that fabric through for you. That's what it's designed to do. The only thing you have to do is just kind of guide it a little bit. That machine is made to make that stitch and pull that fabric through. Your job is to make sure it goes where you want it to. Now that that's decided, it's going to fray out a little bit. Okay. Making pillows is a very forgiving project because it doesn't have to be perfect, and my grandson said, he said, "Why don't you sell these things?" And I said, "I can't sell anything. I've never been able to sell anything. People don't buy from me, and I don't know why, but I'm just not good at selling stuff." This is not, ooh, good thing I checked this. Oops. It's always a good idea to look, because this was folded back, and I would have been taking this out. See, that's okay. Here it's folded here too. And my gosh, that's really off. I'm gonna have to cut that. Wow, that's really, really off. Like I said, this stuff is stretchy. I'll take this off. This stuff is really stretchy. Alright. Now let's flip this back on here like this so that I don't get lost. Turning the last corner. Alright. Take that off so that that'll turn like it's supposed to. And I'm not a fast sewer. I don't see the point. I'd rather go slow, make sure things are working out right, than rush through it and then find out I've got a big, huge mess that I'm going to take out. So, now, here's what it looks like on the, there. So now I've got to clip the corners, and then I'll turn it. So when you clip the corners, You want to make sure you don't go through your stitching. You want to cut it as close as you can, of course, but you don't want to go through your stitching. That way you end up with a hole, and a hole is not fun. A hole means you've got to do some repairs. Okay. Alright. So let's turn this thing and see what we've got. As soon as oh, here it is. As soon as I find where you're supposed to turn it. Okay, so when you turn this, you want to make sure your corners come out, and a lot of times I use a knitting needle. I don't knit. I do crochet some. My mother could do anything. My mother could crochet, sew, knit, tat. Oh gosh, she was talented. She died in 2008. She died the day after Thanksgiving. And about the day before she died, she laid her crocheting down, and she never picked it up again. I've never seen her do that. Here's the outside of it. As you can see, it's now a small pillow. I think I'll measure it just to see what it is now, because I took off about an inch all the way around, so 12 by 12. Yes. 12 by 12. Alright, that's going to make a nice sized little pillow. And when you make your pillows, you won't have to take as deep of a seam as what I've had to take with this fuzzy stuff. I had to take this deep seam because it frays and it is so slippery. But if you've got like fabrics and stuff like that, you won't have to take this deep of a seam. Your pillow won't end up 3 inches smaller than what you cut it out to be. But so now we start stuffing it with fiber fill. This is fiber fill. It comes in bags, and I am a mess. So the first thing I do is I stuff this stuff down into the corners, and it's going to take a lot, but I get the corners first. I get it down in those corners, and so just so that the corners are filled, I get those corners first, then I start filling up the rest of it. And I'm sorry about the rustling noise, but it's down at the bottom of this plastic bag. So So as you can see, I now have the corners filled, so they're full. They're not going to be flat when I finish filling this up. It'll be a nice plump little pillow. Come on. Then I fill up the sides like that, so that the sides are not, flat or anything. I don't want it to be flat. I want it to be a nice, plump, fluffy little pillow. Big chunk came out that time. So now I'm filling up the middle. And double checking to make sure that the sides and the corners are filled. I want them filled for sure. I want them to have, so that they stand up and they look like they're supposed to. So this is getting to be pretty much almost done, not quite. And I think that's gonna do it. All right, so here it is. It's plump. Now then, to close this, what I do is I thought maybe I heard something there in the kitchen. I thought maybe my grandson was up. My youngest grandson lives with me. All right. So what I do is I put clips on here to hold it together. Like this. Now, this is a bit of a challenge. So let's see, let's make sure that's the way we want it. I see a little spot down in here that maybe needs things kind of moved around a little bit. Always a good idea to make sure it's the way you want it before you close it, because it's kind of difficult to readjust it after you've closed it. Okay, so now we are going to zigzag this closed right here, and then our pillow is done. So it's a quick, easy project, and then you end up with all these cute pillows, and one straight stitch. Okay. Back stitch. And now it wants to push the presser foot off. All that fiber foot wants to push that off. So you gotta be kinda vigilant with it. Squash it down so that it's not in control, you are. I'm sorry that you can't see that. Let me see if I can readjust this so that you can kind of see it. That's not gonna do it either. See how it's pushed it off there? So take that off. I'll clip that in a minute. All right. I have to kind of back up here. Let's raise the needle up. It makes things a whole lot easier if the needle is up. Okay. Now then. I think that's good. Let's take a look at it here. Yes, that is good.